Hi, everyone. Hello, hello. Welcome to our live open house that we're doing. So I'm Olivia. I'm Reese's client relationship manager here at Yes Supply. And part of my job is chatting with students who are thinking of joining our programs, specifically this one. This is our signature program, the Yes Supply method. And we're so excited to chat with all of you today. So the point of this open house is to kind of give you an inside look into the Yes Supply method and everything we offer inside of the course, and also to get to know our team members. So we have all of our lovely trainers here. And we're excited because I think a lot of people always ask me on discovery calls, how can I get to know my trainers? Which cohort should I sign up for? We always have questions coming through. So we figured let's do one big call all together. It could be like one big discovery call, and we can ask questions, meet the team, and you're going to get an inside look into the course. So with that being said, I want to share my screen, or actually, you know what? While we're doing intros, let's just stay here because I want everyone to be able to see us. So I can go first, and then let's just go around and each of our team members can introduce each other. And while we're doing that, I would love for everyone who's here, if you're willing to, I'd love for you to write in the chat, who's here, where are you calling from, and what are you interested in learning about today? So maybe you're currently a coach and you're wanting to learn new tools and techniques. Maybe you've thought about joining the program for a long time. Whatever it is, I'd love for you to put in the chat where you're tuning in from and why you're here, what you're looking to learn about the Yes Supply method today. So I'll look out for those things in the chat. And I'll introduce myself super quickly, and then we'll get to the trainers. So I am Olivia. Like I said, I'm Reese's client relationship manager. So a big part of my job is chatting with students every day who are thinking of joining all of our programs, answering questions you have, helping you sign up, get onboarded into the program, and just making sure you feel really good and confident to sign up. I started with Yes Supply almost 4 years ago, which is really wild to think about because I feel like a totally different person, honestly, since 2020. But I started with Yes Supply when I lost my job I had before this during the pandemic. I had to move back to my parents' house. I didn't have anything. And I was really manifesting. I wanted to work for a personal development company because I had just kind of started my own personal development journey. I had just hired my own life coach and really started to figure things out for myself. And my mom is also a life coach. So I'd been around it for a long time. And I was doing
lead trainer here at Yes Supply. I'm so excited for you. Honestly, I'm not going to take up too much time because you really need to get to know these other lovely ladies that you're going to be working with throughout the cohorts or throughout your time here with Yes Supply. But essentially, I support a lot with scheduling and coordinating and supporting with making sure that like all the curriculum looks good and feels good. And definitely, yeah, here to support you in any way that feels aligned and supportive. A little bit about me. I've now like Olivia saying how long she's been here kind of gave me a reality check of like, wow, I've been here for 5 years. It's been quite the journey. And I'm really excited to continue, yeah, just getting to know you all and being all in your energy. Fun things. I love matcha R&B music, and I'm a new mom. I have a 1-year-old, so that's been a really fun journey. So I'm actually just coming back from mat leave. In November, I came back. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. I'm gonna just really quickly, we're gonna go in team order from our call. But I just have to say, I hand selected every single. No, I'm just kidding. I did though. I did. I hand selected each of these trainers. So if I give the stamp of approval, then you know that they're incredible. So yeah, I'd love to. Oh, actually, thanks Amanda for saying that too. I'm also in Canada. I'm in Toronto. So if anyone's around, definitely reach out. Always like to connect with students and folks from the community outside of this space. So yeah, thank you so much for joining us. I'm excited to dive into all the content and dive into like what you're going to learn with Yes Supply. But Riley, do you want to talk about yourself?
For sure. Thanks, Steph. I love that. You're like, not to take credit for the amazing team that we have built, but I'm willing. I love that. Hi, everyone. I'm Riley. I'm our trainer based out of Eastern Standard Time. I'm also Canadian like Steph. Right now, I'm based out of Montreal, Quebec, which is super fun. I've been training with Yes Supply for about 3.5 years. So that's super exciting. My origin story is similar to Olivia's, where I was working a corporate job. And I remember my manager, also named Steph, had just told me she was pregnant. And I thought, there's no way I'm staying here without Steph. So I kept saying to myself, I kept saying to my coach, my next job is going to pick me. My next job is going to pick me. My next job is going to pick me. I don't have to go and find it. It's going to find me. And I just remember sitting on the couch and it just picked me. Like Olivia, I got an email from Yes Plan. I thought, that's my job. And I remember my coach at the time being like, you should apply to more than one job. Like, you can't put all of your eggs in this basket. And I'm like, no, like, you don't understand. This is my basket. Like, there is no plan B. This is it. And the rest is just history. Here I am 3.5 years later. So it was totally aligned, worked out beautifully. And I'm really grateful to be here. I'm super excited to see all of the change that all of you get to experience over the like your time with YesFi, which is gonna be super exciting. But yeah, Jess. Oh, wait, is it Olga and then
I
Jess?
was
I
I
can't
was
remember.
enjoying that way too much. I forgot I had to do the same. I was like, yeah. Hello everyone. Welcome in. Good evening from the UK. My name is Jess. It's not, and I always do a double hand wave and then cringe at myself as to why I do it, but here we are. And so a little bit about me is I actually took Yes Supply like 2019 2020. I graduated in 2020. I in my previous life I was a dancer and I started like a little side business helping other dancers with confidence, and then in the pandemic went all in on my business. Yes Supply, as cheesy as it sounds, did literally change my life. Personally, I overcame so much, and then I stepped into a business that and was helping me serve people and earn abundantly. And I moved to Costa Rica during the pandemic. And then I've been working with Yes Supply as a trainer. I started off as trainer assistant about 3.5 years ago, and have been training for about 3 years. So I just am so grateful for everything that decision has brought me. And I sometimes sit here and think, I'm so grateful I said yes, because what would I even be doing in my life right now? I'm not entirely sure. And then yeah, I'm in the UK. I am a mum to a toddler, and I love Nutella. How's that? Is that kind of summed up? Seems good. Perfect. I'll pass it over to Olga.
Hey everybody, welcome. My name is Olga and I'm the Asia Pacific trainer here at Yes Supply. I'm in Melbourne, Australia. I live here with my two babies who are not babies, but they'll always be babies. Christopher is 14, Emmeline is 10. We have a gorgeous little puppy named Rumi. I've been with Yes Supply since December 2020. I started my grown-up life in the corporate world. So I was in private banking for about 8 years, and then I was in market research doing government longitudinal studies for about 10 years. Um, Not really aligned to who I really was. I always felt like there was something missing. Did have a pretty huge spiritual awakening. That was interesting, trying to understand what my life was going to look like after that, especially being in the corporate world and feeling very misaligned there. I did the Yes Supply method, and like Jess said, I know it sounds really cheesy, but totally changed my mindset, who I was, helped me understand my power in creating the life that I want. And I've been training beautiful students with like-minded goals since December 2020. I love to run my cohorts in a way that allows us to understand how we really do use these tools on that deep subconscious level. I have a successful coaching business myself, so I love to draw in on all my clients' experiences, all the shifts they've had. So I like to apply real life knowledge and information. And I'm really excited that everybody's here to find out what this amazing certification is all about. I think I'm going to hand it back to Liv to let us know.
Oh, thank you, everyone. I loved that. That was really nice. I was like, we should have done this sooner. That was really great. And I saw a lot of people writing in the chat just where everyone's from, what you're here to learn about. So thank you for sharing all of that. I feel like I kind of know each person a little bit better now and what you're looking for. So we're definitely going to answer all of your questions. And I noticed a pattern. Quite a few people have gone through at least one of our smaller courses, it seems like, whether you're coming from New Coach Accelerator or Yes, It's Yours. So if you have gone through a smaller Yes Apply program and you loved it, this certification is just like 1,000 times that. You're going to get so much content. It goes so in depth and you're getting live calls. You're getting to interact with other students. There's just so much more to it. So I always tell people, if you like what Reese puts out with our smaller programs or even on social media, you will absolutely love the program. So I want to share my screen and let's just walk through it. We actually have some slides. And I want to walk through what we're going to talk about today. And then we actually want to share with you a back end tour of the course because we really want you all to get a good idea of exactly what you're going to learn in the program. Can everyone see this okay? Does it look good? Okay, amazing. So let's do a little rundown. So you just met the team, so you got to know a little bit about each of us. Next, we want to give you a behind the scenes tour of the Yes Apply Method course portal. And I always tell people, if you're anything like me, I'm a super visual learner and I like seeing exactly what I'm going to get when I sign up for a program. So if you're anything like me, I think this will be a really great opportunity for you to see exactly how the modules are set up, every single thing you're going to get, how in-depth the course goes, all of the elements to the program, everything like that. So we're going to do a back-end tour of the course. You're going to see everything inside of the portal so you know exactly what you're buying when you sign up. And then we're going to go through the structure of the program. So I actually might do that first, but we'll kind of talk about the steps that you're going to take to graduate. We're going to go in depth on exactly what your certifications mean and what you receive when you graduate from the program. We also have a student coming on later who wanted to share her testimonial, which is really sweet. So we'll talk to her after that. And then we'll just go over upcoming dates and answer any questions you have. I think we actually added in somewhere in here, we'll add in another little Q&A. But as we talk, if all of you have questions coming up, just type them in the chat. And then we have so many of us here, I'm sure we can all help answer questions in the chat. I can't see the chat sharing my screen. So if at any point, just interrupt me if you want me to talk about anything, but otherwise we can all help you there. And I think actually I made all of us co-hosts who work here. So if other people come into the room, can you let them in because I can't see anything now that I'm sharing my screen? Thank you. Okay. So this is what we really see at Yes Apply for the main people who are interested in joining the program. If you're someone who either is a new coach or has always wanted to coach, maybe you're really passionate about personal development, you love subconscious mindset work, or you've always maybe helped friends, family, you're the go-to person to give people advice, this is going to be the perfect program for you to really get started on your coaching journey. We also see a lot of our students come through the program who are already experienced coaches, but they feel like maybe something is missing with getting their clients results, or they just want to add new coaching tools to their toolkit. The Yes Apply method will be amazing for you in that regard too. So we're excited to kind of share this with all of you to make sure that this feels like the right fit for you, no matter what you're looking to learn from it. So you're going to get a lot of things when you join the Yes Apply method. And I think let's walk through the different steps to graduate, and then I'll share my screen and we'll go through the course. So when you sign up for the program, you are going to get access to the course right away. So the course we're about to show you, the portal with your login details, all of the bonuses, everything like that, you're going to get access to the course right away. And right when you sign up, you'll go through different sections of the program. So we have it set up in different phases. But to graduate, essentially, the steps to graduation, you'll watch the video modules every week. You'll attend your live call with your cohort every week. You'll do 10 hours of field work and you have one final exam. That's kind of how I simplify it for people. So those are kind of the 4 steps to graduation. And the main questions I get for the field work, you can practice with anyone, friends, family, paid clients, volunteer clients, other students, whoever you want to practice with. And you'll submit those hours to graduate. And then for the final exam, sometimes people tell me they get test anxiety, so don't worry about that because I feel like one thing that I really love about the way we set up the program is that The exam is self-paced. You can use your manual, you can use your notes, you can work with other students. We don't want our students having test anxiety for this. And the best part about it is that you can actually save your progress and come back anytime. So you could answer a few questions this week, come back next month, answer a few more questions, work through it progressively as you go through the program. So I think that helps people ease their mind a little bit thinking about taking an exam. It's not like university. This is a lot more relaxed than that. And we're here to help you if you have any questions. So did I cover everything there, trainers? Do you have anything you want to add in before I keep going? We'll dive deeper when we show the course too. Okay, we're feeling good. Okay. Okay, so let's head inside the program and actually take a look at exactly what you'll get when you sign up for the Yes Apply method. So I actually want to share it from the homepage. So right when you sign up for the program, you're going to get your login details sent to you and you'll get access to the course portal here. So right when you sign up for the program, this is where you'll always access the Yes Apply method. It's this first tile right here, the Yes Apply method coach certification. And we have the program set up in different phases. So each of these sections have different video modules within them. And we have it set up in a step-by-step process for you. So you don't have to be guessing and jumping all over the place. You'll start with introduction, then embodiment, and just go through each part. So what I'm going to do, we're just going to split this up and I'm going to give this to Steph to kind of explain introduction and we'll each take a turn just going through the different parts of the program.
Beautiful. Thanks, Olivia. So when you first get access to the course, the first place you're going to want to start is the introduction. And so in the introduction, we have a couple of videos just talking a little bit about, again, the program, why you're here, setting your intention for the course, and then also giving you foundational links and information. So I also, as much as this is introduction, I'd also want you to consider this as a place to refer back to when you want important links or information, because it's definitely going to be really supportive as you go throughout your journey with Yes Apply. Now, of course, you also have your amazing trainer that you can lean on as well. And a lot of the information that you may require or want to lean on is definitely in here. So here, again, like I mentioned, you're going to have an introduction video, important links, and of course, a little bit about what you're going to learn in the course. You're also going to get access to where you can find your online manual and script book, which is really cool, but also where you're going to fill out where we're going to send all of your goodies. So there's a place where you can fill out your current shipping address, maybe different than your billing address, so we can ensure that we get your goodies to you. And when I mean goodies, you get a manual physical copy of it, and some other little bits that we can that we're going to send to you. So like a pen, a goal card, there's a bunch of other cute things. So really fun welcome package that we're going to send your way, everything that you're going to need to be successful in the Yes Apply method. Then there's going to be a video about the road to graduation. So similar to what Olivia mentioned, just in terms of the course progression and what that's going to look like. So again, starting with introduction, going through embodiment before you start your cohort calls. And then through the cohort, you're going to start your modules through integration and then transformation. And then after, you'll get access to amplification. And in between all of that, you're also going to do your tests one test, as Olivia mentioned. And like she beautifully mentioned too, one thing to note is that there is time within your cohort to ask questions to your trainer, work on it as a group. I know we've had groups that like stay on after the cohort and maybe work together or outside of the cohort time. It is open book. It is save progression. So again, you don't have to sit down and do it in one go. So lots of opportunity to support with that. And then also your field work. So as you scroll through this specific area too, you'll have links to all of those bits. So if you're looking for information on the field work, if you're looking for the link for your test, everything can be found here. And then there's also here some additional support systems. So things like emotional support, some of our hotlines, just again, a lot of information if you need external help outside of the Yes Apply method, all of that can be found here. There's also your links to the self-paced calendar, which we are phasing out, but you'll see the link to the bonus call calendar, which we'll talk about in a little bit more depth of what that looks like. But you'll see there where you can make up any calls through our open office hours or additional calls. Again, we can talk about that in a little bit more depth of what that looks like. And any of our bonus calls that we offer, because we offer so many different bonus calls that are not required, but are definitely encouraged. Things like our science Q&A, our Q&As with Reese, and we often host other kind of like fun get-togethers or masterclass vibes with our students. What else is on here? We've got how to make up a call if you need. There's steps on that within this area here as well. There's also accreditation. So we are actually certified by a couple different boards. And so all that information can be found here, stuff on the ICF and the Complementary Medical Association. So really cool to note that we actually are certified by, or our certification has been certified by a couple different certification companies. Knowing that coaching is an unregulated industry, it gives us really good grounded, knowing that another outside board has been looking at our information and is approving it to say like it meets their codes of ethics and their standards. There's also some science and research. So one of the things that's really different about the Yes Apply method is that we have a research lead and a amazing licensed psychologist on our team. Her name's Dr. Aubrey. You'll definitely get the chance to engage with her both through modules as well as on our science Q&As. And she often hops in like the Facebook group and stuff like that. But she's compiled a lot of different resources for you to lean on as it comes to science and research. So you can access that there. And then there's also some information about our affiliate program, which again, I'll probably pass to Jess at some point later on to talk more about. But essentially we have an Earn While You Learn program, or a way in which you can make a little bonus change as you go through the course, as you share about your experience with the course. And we definitely have prompts throughout the program to make that even easier for you. So that's kind of like where, again, it's a lot of information. And I say to just digest it as is and know that you can always come back to this. Know that not everything's going to be, you need to remember it all right now, but it's something that you can go back to. But it's definitely good, something good to graze over before we dive into the content. I see a question here in the chat. Is the certificate certified for Canada? So we are a Canadian-based company, but maybe if you have more clarification about what that specifically means. ICF is a global organization, and the Medical Association as well, I believe, is an international board. So yeah, I hope that kind of helps answer your question. But in terms of like, where do we certify folks? As you can see, our team is international, and same thing with our certification. So we've had folks who graduated in Japan, in Australia, in North America, in South America, in Europe. So definitely international in that way. Again, remembering coaching is not a regulated industry. And so it is just really great that you as coaches, whether you are a coach or wanting to become a coach, are investing in this process, because technically anybody can go out and be a coach. But knowing that you're going through the Yes Apply method means that you really care about the results of your clients, ethics, DEI, and ensuring that you're following practices that feel, ethical and safe for folks. So hopefully that answered your question there. And please, any other questions that come through, feel free to pop them in the chat. With that being said, I'd love to pass over the floor to Jess to talk to you about part 1, or the embodiment section.
All right. Thank you, Steph. And hello, everyone. Okay. So I think you probably can already tell that this course is just jam-packed with everything you could ever need. And as powerful subconscious mind reprogramming coaches, one thing we know for sure is that you can have all of the skills, and you probably can all relate somewhat. You can have all of the skills, you can have the certificate, you can have the this, that, and everything. But if you're not embodying the version of you who believes you can actually make this happen, it ain't gonna happen. So one thing I just adore about our course is that we actually have this embodiment section, which is honestly could be a standalone course, truly, on its own. And the intention of this is literally because we know when you fully embody this version of you, like, you're all here because you have this little voice saying something to you. That's why I was here. And when you embody the version of you who is naturally inspired, naturally shining the light, trust that I can make whatever your goal is from doing this work, knows that I'm here to create an impact, we know that that's when you're going to really go out and change the world. And one of our, what would you call it, like mottos here at Yes Apply is a coach in every household, because we know the impact of this work. So without the embodiment section, what is the rest, right? Because if you're not going to embody it, you're not going to go out and do it. And how many geniuses are sat there not actually showing the world their genius? because they're not embodying their future self. So this is the embodiment section. You've got in there a lot of education actually about the subconscious mind and how to apply it to yourself, how to cultivate an abundance mindset. Because if you want to do this as a job, you either want to scale and run a company like Yes Supply, or you want to say a solopreneur or run a team, like you're going to need to really cultivate a mindset that supports where you're going. Also, there's a whole beautiful section on tapping into intuition. It goes really deep into that. So as you can see here, there's lots of different sections. There's also at the bottom the 5-step manifestation method, and we really encourage you in the embodiment module to fully commit to the process, fully commit to the resistance, really go through the workbook, bring everything up, because then you are actually going to be coached on your calls. And by the end of your cohort, I promise you, like it actually makes me want to cry thinking about it, but I promise you, if you go all in on this and show up to your cohort, you will not only have the skills to go and run a business, you'll just be an entirely new person by then. So I actually have a new cohort that just started 3 weeks ago, and someone was just saying how just the universal laws section in this embodiment section just like completely changed their life. So it's just like one part of embodiment. Now, with the embodiment section, this isn't something that we go over on the calls. This is entirely for you to embody your higher self, but we do recommend you going through it before, or if there's not the time, like during your cohort, just because of that. We know that part of you working on you is a really important piece in this puzzle of you becoming that successful coach, leader, whatever it is, however you want to apply this work. So that is the embodiment module. It's all about giving yourself permission to let go of any beliefs that are holding you back. And as a personal share, I remember when having such imposter syndrome, even when I signed up for Yes Supply, and I just kept getting in my own way. And I had so many limiting beliefs about if I was able to do this or not. And I just spent a month in Miami with Reese, who said I could share this. And because one of my students was saying about imposter syndrome, and she said, even when she was creating Yes, It's Yours, she had this little voice going, no one's going to buy it. No one's going to buy it. So even though she had all this evidence in her life that people buy from her, there was still that little voice. And that's why this work is so important to do on yourself, because imagine if that stopped Reese, like none of us would be here. So the embodiment section is a huge part in this puzzle. It's all about you. And it's magical, and you have lifetime access to the content. So I know for me personally, I've gone back through a lot of this stuff as I've grown and evolved and my values have shifted. I've come back and like readjusted when needed. Yeah, have I missed anything, team, about this?
That was amazing. Thank you for sharing that,
Okay,
Jess.
perfect.
And you actually made a good point that I wish I brought up earlier. So thank you for doing that, by the way. I loved that, and like so inspirational and exciting. That is a good point I wanted to bring up, was that when you join the program, you'll go through the introduction and the embodiment sections by yourself. And then integration, this is where your live calls will start. So this is a big question I always get on discovery calls with people who are thinking of signing up for the program. Your live calls will start here, but we recommend signing up for the program before your live calls will start. So before any of these dates you might see on here, when you go to sign up for the program, we recommend giving yourself, like 3 to 4 weeks or even more, because we want you to really take the time to go through the embodiment like Jess is talking about. So there's a lot of content to cover here on your own to kind of embody and become the coach and the leader that you want to be. And then your live calls are going to start in integration. And one thing I don't know if I made this clear earlier, but basically your trainer is going to assign you which modules to watch every week on your own time, starting at this integration section. And then you're coming to that live call every week, having watched the videos, and you're ready to practice. So on the live calls every week, you'll be having time for kind of discussions and Q&As with any questions that came up for you while you were watching the videos. But a majority of the time on these live calls is going to be spent in breakout rooms doing practice coaching. Anyway, sorry, I took this over, but I'll pass it back over to the trainers to kind of talk about what you'll learn in this section. But I just wanted to make it clear that Now, at this point in the course, this is when you're actually going to get to start practicing and being on live calls with one of these amazing trainers and the other students in your program.
Olivia, you can interrupt whoever and whatever you want all of the time because you're so amazing. So just saying. I think I'm going to continue about integration. Is that correct? Okay, perfect. So now we're going into integration. We're getting juicy. You're coming to your calls. You're going to meet your trainer. You're going to come out with your community. I think one of the favorite things about this section of the course is you get to come and meet who you're learning with and share your space with like-minded people. And really what this is about is setting the most solid and deep foundations for you to be able to do this work, because in transformation, which Riley is going to talk about, you're learning lots of tools to reprogram your mind, and they are amazing. But without the ability to be able to gain rapport, actively listen, without the powerful conversation skills that you're going to gain in this module, without the neuroenergetic wiring framework, which is just like your blueprint, your home for a solid transformation, the tools are just the tools. We work at the root of people's real problems, and in integration, that's where you're going to really learn how to do this through conversation, how to hold a safe space, how to build an ethical business. I mean, it is jam-packed full, and you're going to get that theme. Everything is. Integration is really us building these, layering up so that by the time you get to transformation, you can already hold space, already actively listen. You can already use your language in a very intentional way to put people outside of their box of problems. And what I mean by that is you can actually start to help people see new perspectives. You can actually help them rewire their mind just through having really powerful conversations, asking amazing questions. We have our neural energetic wiring blueprint, and I love this because this is your real home for a solid transformation. So what you learn in this module is all about how to ask questions that are going to get you to what people need to let go of, or people need to program in. And this is going to help you be able to run a session that doesn't only inspire people, but actually rewires their mind. You know, you're actually making physical changes with this work through conversation, which always blows my mind. I'm talking to you, and I know that I am being able to make your subconscious mind fire and wire new connections, and therefore create new pathways. So yeah, I mean, I can't teach you every lesson right now, however much I'd love to, as you could probably tell. But another great thing about integration is that you actually learn how to run a single session. You can start running sessions for around module 5, honestly, and we teach you how to start selling those during your experience. All of these calls are done, all of these modules are done on a call. So you're going to watch 2 modules a week, for the most part, depending on what kind of path you're on. Yeah, that will go to the intensive later, but and then you're going to come and practice with each other, and ask your trainer any questions. And like Olga pointed out so beautifully earlier, this is where we don't reteach the work on the calls. We help you embody it, integrate it, give you real life application, help you really do it with each other in the breakout rooms, and start to look at how you can tangibly apply this in your sessions and in your lives. This is a little bit off topic, but what just came through to me here is what's great is that we have some people who have never coached come through our doors. We have some people who have 6-figure businesses and beyond come through our doors. And what we do is we start everyone here, and everybody just gets to learn with and from each other as well. I'm a great believer that there's not just teachers and students. We all learn with and from each other for sure. Does anyone have any questions about that so far, or is there anything I missed, team? So to wrap it up and pass it over to Riley, at the end of integration, you run a full goal setting session for 45 minutes with another student, and you just kind of bring together everything you've learned so far in this practice session in module 13 and 14. They're always really beautiful sessions. We're always setting big goals with each other, and then we move into transformation. So I'm going to pass it over to Riley, who's going to take it over.
Thanks, Jess. That was beautiful. Okay, so part 3 is your transformation calls. So like just mentioned, in integration, you set a really deep and beautiful foundation for moving into your transformation session, where you're going to learn all of the amazing techniques that often like that you're certified in, essentially. So there's, I think, like 10, 15 techniques that we go through specifically. You're going to get to practice them all on our calls. You have a lot of detailed and amazing examples and demos all in the content that you'll watch before you come to the calls. So you're going to have a really solid idea of what you're doing in the call before you even get there. So lots of details. Reese gives so many real life examples. We give more on the calls, learning these techniques so in depth. Then you get to come on our calls and you get to practice doing the technique with another student, and then also be on the receiving end of this. So this is really cool because this is when we start to see like massive shifts in our students, because they are receiving the transformation as well as practicing coaching. So it's so fun and exciting. And then at the end of your transformation, after learning all of these amazing techniques, you get to hold a transformation session, which is really practicing programming things in, rewiring people's subconscious, and programming things out. So that's, again, where you see those really big shifts. And I know that everyone's always chomping at the bit to get to transformation when they start, because this is so exciting, but it really layers beautifully onto that integration aspect. Anything else anyone on our trainer team wants to add?
I don't know if Jess, I just saw you responded to Chris, but do you want to speak to, and Olga or whoever wants to? She just asked, oh, sorry, give me one second. She just asked, can you speak to how the program has helped you transform in your personal life? And this is actually a question that I get all the time on discovery calls, because I think a lot of people think they're signing up to help other people, and what they don't realize is the huge breakthroughs and transformation that they have within themselves going through the program. So I don't know if any of the trainers feel called to speaking to that point, but maybe this is a great place to kind of answer that question really quickly.
You, me? Who's gonna I can definitely go. This program has literally completely changed my whole life. So when I did leave the corporate world and I was wanting to start my own business, I also went through, maybe a little bit of a trigger warning for everybody. I went through a very messy, horrific divorce. I kind of lost everything because I was the breadwinner in that marriage. So I had to start my life all over again. So here I was, about to leave the corporate world, pretty much starting my life all over again with 2 little kids I had to look for. I had so many limiting beliefs about starting my own business. Not that I knew what limiting beliefs were back then, but there was so much holding me back. When I went through the Yes Apply method, I did learn that it was my subconscious mind, it was my programming. And even though it was a little bit scary, it's like, oh, so that negative self-talk that we all do all day, that's what's really holding you back in life. I actually got really excited about the fact that I could change that. And when I thought I was going to change that, I had no idea it was going to completely change me. So really allow me to tap into my inner gifts, give me the courage, the identity, the absolute belief in myself, the positive mindset to allow me to not only leave the corporate world at the beginning of a pandemic, but start my business and dive in. Now I'm training other students that in these tools that help transform so many lives. So it really is an incredible place where you can walk away from with your hand on your heart and say, not only does this stuff work and it's transformed my life, but all the science is behind it. And you're going to meet everybody within your cohort that absolutely transforms too. So you get all the evidence you need to change your life. So changed my life completely. I hope that answers your question, Chris.
That was so beautiful. Do you want to share as well, Jess? Go ahead. We might as well all just share. Why not? I love it. It's getting me excited, and I've already been through the program.
I totally can. I'll keep it short. Like, thank you, Olga. Like, I had chills thinking about that too. And I'll start by saying one of the things that really changed my life, like just to like keep it low key for a sec, is that Steph did mapping across with me and my cohort. Steph was my trainer. Reese had just had Isaiah. And I stopped drinking. I had a really unhealthy relationship with Diet Coke. And that was 4 years ago. And I have never had this unhealthy relationship with Diet Coke again. Like that was life-changing in itself. But on a deeper level, I had just to kind of like give different perspectives too. Like I had always lived thinking I was just an overthinker and a people pleaser, not even like knowing that I never really had peace. So I definitely could tell you about the business and the move and the money I manifested because of Yes Supply. But the thing that I feel called to share is the inner peace that I've been able to find and maintain. So and I'm not gonna lie, I use these tools over and over and over and over and over and over. It wasn't like I did the SPI method and skipped into my life and never looked back. Life be lifing us. And now you have the tools that you can return to as and when you need to. And if that was all I took from it, I would have been eternally grateful. But there was much more than that. But yeah, I can share that for sure. Oh my goodness, Dr. Pepper. Yes. Me and Diet Coke, we were inseparable. And I kind of was like, okay, I'm going to do this on Diet Coke because it's totally not going to work. Don't recommend that attitude. And it did work. And I was like, so I will pass it over to somebody else.
Thank you both for sharing that. And this is actually perfect timing. I didn't even plan this, but this is such perfect timing. So thank you, Chris, for asking that question, because we have a student here, Monet, who is so sweet to come on and share her story about going through the Yes Supply method, her experience going through it, just a little testimonial to kind of share with all of you what it's like to go through the program and her own personal experience. So I'd love to pass the floor to you, Monet. Thank you for being here. I actually don't know who was your trainer going through the program. It was Olga.
Olga was my trainer, and we became connected because she has a love of peanut butter that I also share, my favorite food. But to answer your question, Chris, literally everything about your life will change when you go through Yes Supply. When I started, I was so anxious. I was going through a really rough family transition, and just I was on like the highest dose that I possibly could be on of anxiety medication. And by the end of it, I was on a really low dose. I'm still on a really low dose, but probably won't be on it much longer. And I was so anxious about any social thing. I would not go to anything. I would cancel every plan. And now I go out, but more so the friendships that you make when you're in your cohort. Like I'm going to New York in May to see a girl that was in my cohort, and I'm so excited. But we meet up. We're meeting up this Wednesday. We meet up regularly. We didn't end our cohort just because we graduated. And it just is so incredible. Like everything that you think is going to happen, it's going to be exponentially more. And you're going to walk out of there with enough practice that you feel confident. You're going to be able to take a client the day you graduate and be totally confident with it. But you're going to be a literal different person. Olga told us, go take a picture of your first class because you're going to look different at the end. And all of us were kind of like, okay, whatever. And we took the pictures, and every single one of us was so transformed at the end that we were like, who even is this? Like, who was this sad person that I used to be? And we didn't know we were miserable at the beginning, but the life change that you have will make you realize like what you're living right now is not it. Yeah, I loved it. And I loved training with Olga, and she's the best. And I'm excited to see her on Tuesday.
Thank you so much for sharing. Why am I about to cry? Why am I like tearing up? I don't know. I saw Olga wipe her eyes. That was so sweet, Monet. Thank you for sharing that. And I think that speaks volumes to the personal transformation that you receive in the program, and like so much that you'll get out of it for yourself. I almost feel like a side effect is that you can help other people too and coach them. But like the main thing is you. And I'm just so happy. Thank you so much for showing up and sharing that. And I don't know if you want to say anything, Olga, because you were her amazing trainer, but I just want to
Oh,
say thank
one
you for
other
being here.
thing.
Oh yeah.
The transformation you'll feel yourself is such that my husband and I, we have grown. I have stepdaughters, they're my age, but we've grown children and we want to gift them Yes Supply for Christmas. That's like our plan. And none of them are going to be coaches. But I'm like, the therapy you're in is just not going to cut it, girl. You need something different. Like you have to go change your life this way. So that's like something we're already planning for. You know, obviously it's a cost for 3 kids to go through it, but that's what we want to get them for Christmas. Like it's worth it. If you never become a coach, it's worth it.
That is amazing. Oh my gosh, can we have a whole cohort of just your family?
Oh my God, I would love that. It'd be so fun.
I love that. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah, literally mic drop, like Olga said. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. Oh my gosh, Reese is going to be so happy because I know you got to share on the masterclass last week, but even just to hear more of your story and your experience, we appreciate it so much. And it makes us feel so good of like the good work that we're doing as a team and that Reese has created this program. So thank you. That means so much to us.
Cool. And if anybody has any questions from the student side, then you can always contact me. I am happy to answer anything.
Yes, I was going to say, if you want to put your Instagram in the chat or like however you want people to connect with you, I know I talk to so many people on discovery calls and they always say, I just want to talk to one of your graduates and like get a feel for their experience. So Monet, put your Instagram in the chat and people can follow you, connect with you, follow your journey as you do whatever you're off to do with the program and we can stay connected. Thank you for being here. How is everyone feeling? That was so amazing. I literally like, I have the best energy now. That was so amazing. Where did we even leave off now? I don't want to do anything else except just tell fun stories. It's like,
Oh my gosh, I know. I feel that. Well, maybe I can pick back up where we were left or where we left off in terms of the program. So Jess like beautifully took us through Riley beautifully took us through transformation, which would be the end of the actual cohort together. So once you're done with transformation, you've gone through so many different coaching activities and exercises, and then providing that you've handed in your test, you've attended all your calls, you completed your field work, then it's time for you to graduate. And I literally have goosebumps because I know all the trainers take such pride in the graduation process and they make it really special for you all. You know, whether it be like listening to a song, dancing, anchoring in the feeling of, you know, of graduating and completing this process. It's such a fun day. And then after that, you get access to part 4, which is amplification, and the next steps, which is a lot of the bonuses. So part of what we do is we keep some of the bonuses to get graduation really excited. And it allows you the opportunity to really focus on the course material, really embody what it means to be a coach, practice the tools and techniques so that now when you're done, you get access to things to further your coaching career or your, even just like yourself. I think as, you know, some of us have mentioned here, whether it's that you want to become a coach or not, we've had folks who've done this program who are real estate agents, who are photographers, who are in HR, who are moms or parents, who are just looking to better their life in any type of way. There's definitely something for you in this space because we all come up against, you know, limiting emotions and beliefs and thoughts, etc. But if you want to take it to the next level in terms of your coaching specifically, these are some really great bonuses to help you attract more clients and more wealth, you know, through single sessions. Yes Dream Clients is one of our signature programs. You actually get access to that right at the beginning. So if you want to start going through that at the beginning, there's a different tile that's not in the bonuses, but it's a really, really amazing program where, again, you get to deepen your connection with understanding like who's your niche audience, how to identify who they are, how to connect with them, how to set up some operations bits on your back end. In addition, I'm kind of jumping all over the place because there is so much in here, but we also give you lots of access to things like tech tools. So If you're just starting off your business, there's like a low tech training. I know Riley has some really great trainings in there as well in terms of like structuring your work day. She's like we call her our organizational queen, just in terms of like, you know, how to set up your work week, how to set goals, how to utilize like organization and scheduling, I guess is like the better word to use as well, to be successful within your business. What else do we got in there? Yeah, lots of really great things. An Instagram course, a Facebook course, an ads course. So yeah, lots of really great bonuses to take your business to the next level. So like I mentioned, Yes Dream clients, you get right from the beginning, and selling your single sessions you get in module 6 of integration. And then all of the other ones will unlock once you graduate. In addition to, you'll also, we kind of touched on it before, but you also get access for 12 months to our bonus calls, where again, we do some of these like structure your single sessions with Olga. I know we've kind of paused on those, but we're definitely going to pick back up on those, helping you to understand or dream about like what would your programs look like or what would your sessions look like. And she definitely goes like really in depth with supporting you on how to connect with your connect with your audience. So it's more of like a workshopping space as opposed to like a teach and then go out and do something. So definitely a really cool environment. Coaching Q&A with Reese, coaching Q&A or science Q&A with Aubrey. And again, some other fun things that we put on the calendar when we have space and time. So I know we've had like coffee and chat conversations where we just kind of like open up the floor to talk about things that are coming up and maybe hot topics, how we can apply coaching, etc. So yeah, really, really great extra bits that you get access to in addition to all of the amazing, all of the amazing structured course content. So yeah, trying to think if there's anything else that I want to mention about like this part before we move on. I think that's it. And if there's any additions from the trainers, feel free to pop in. I know we could probably, my cheeks are hurting because I'm just like getting so like fired up and lit up. We probably could be here for like another 3 hours, but we want to be mindful of everyone's time. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to pop them in the chat so we can directly answer questions that are coming up.
So good. Thank you, Steph. And then the last thing before maybe after this, we just hop into a Q&A, but the last thing that I wanted to share, if Olga wants to do a little rundown, do you still feel good to do this? Olga, like a little rundown of just the certifications and like what they even mean, because I know sometimes I get questions like, what is neural energetic wiring? What is neural energetic encoding? So we figured let's do a little rundown, but these are the 5 certifications you're all going to get when you graduate from the program, on top of lifetime access to this entire course, all of these bonuses to build your business. You're getting all of this plus 5 certifications. So you're getting a lot of content there, which is really exciting. But I want to pass it over to Olga to just share a little bit more about what these certifications really mean.
Thank you, love. Okay, so yes, after you go through the whole course, you do get to walk away with 5 certifications. So they are neural energetic wiring, neural energetic encoding, hypnosis, EFT tapping, and mindset coaching. So neural energetic wiring, let's get into that one first. I'm going to try to be as brief as I can here. Neural energetic wiring is a really beautiful framework to get into your client's subconscious mind, and you go through all the levels of their mind. So that's like their identity, their purpose, their goals, their behaviors, and their habits. What do they need to bring together to help them achieve their goals? So there's a beautiful questioning that's already kind of pre-framed there for you, and you follow that format, and it really helps you get into their limiting beliefs, their emotions, and not just that, the things that are holding them back, but what they need for you to install so that they can move forward. So you'll be certified in that. Neural energetic encoding. So for me, this one is probably the most powerful one. This encompasses all the tools you have to work on their really deep subconscious level. So all the beliefs, emotions, behaviors, conflicts that are actually holding them back, you get to rewire that with techniques that are fully backed by science to help them move forward towards their goals. So that will help you do that. Hypnosis, hypnosis. To be completely honest, when I first did the Yes Supply method, I'm not doing hypnosis. You need to be some sort of brain surgeon. I had no idea what hypnosis actually was, but it now is one of my favorite tools. It's a very simple tool. It's a very beautiful tool. And basically all you're doing is helping somebody relax and speaking directly to their subconscious mind in a way that helps them really take action on that deep subconscious level. So you get to do that as well. EFT tapping is a beautiful energetic tool. It uses all the meridian lines in the body with all the acupressure acupressure points where you tap on these specific acupressure points to really help the energy body get shifting and moving. So you're working on someone's energetic level, but as well as doing that, you're kind of affirming what you do want and releasing the things that are holding you back. So it also works on that subconscious level as well. Mindset coaching, I think that kind of speaks for that itself. Mindset coaching is basically what everybody needs. So corporate executives, business owners, influencers, you name it, we all need a coach. Coaches need coaches. So this really helps you learn how to keep your clients' mindset strong, focused on what they do want, so that they can really take action and move forward. I know that was a very high level overview of those certifications. So if anybody does have any questions, please do let us know.
Thank you, Olga. That was so perfect. That was so perfect. So I hope that helped everyone to kind of understand an overview of what you're going to be learning in the program and what the certifications mean. And now I think we wanted to leave time for questions. So I know this went so fast, but I think we're already at the hour mark, aren't we? That went so fast. The last thing I just want to mention is the price is increasing after April 1st. So right now the program is $5,499. It's going to go up by about $1,000 after April 1st. So April 1st will be the last day to sign up at this price point. And then I think at like midnight, we're changing the price. So for anyone who's been thinking of joining, this is your sign, because I talked to so many people who are like, I'm sitting on the fence, I'll wait a few more months. This is really the time to sign up. And I'm going to be around all day to answer people's questions, but we just really wanted to let everyone know, sign up by April 1st to lock in the current pricing. And while I'm here, let me show you the upcoming dates. That's the last thing I want to do, because I know we have so many more slides, but I feel like let's look at upcoming dates and then answer questions. And then do we feel like that's good? I want to make sure I'm not missing anything, but I feel like with the time, those are the last two things that feel really important. I want to talk about the upcoming dates. While I'm doing that, type your questions in the chat and we'll get to those right after. But the way the Yes Supply method works is that you will go to our website, yessupply.co/certified. And this is where you'll find all of the information about the program we've been talking about today. Reese has a whole in-depth video here kind of talking about what we just chatted about live. And if you click on any of the buttons that say join the Yes Supply method now, it will pop you down to this section that has all of the upcoming trainings. So you will pick any of these training dates, and Reese and the team are so amazing, and Steph, because we planned out the entire year already. So any cohort that you want to join through the rest of the year, we have up here. And if you want to lock in the current pricing for the Yes Supply method now, all you have to do is select any of these training dates, sign up with the register now button, and it can be any of these trainings. So you can go ahead and save your spot for October, November, any training you want. You'll save your spot, get access to the course now, lock in the current pricing, and you can start watching all of the videos that we just showed you. And then your first call will be whenever your cohort starts. So that's how this page is kind of set up. And we have our spring trainings, summer trainings, and fall trainings here. One question I get a lot, people ask me, what if I need to switch trainings? That's okay. We do have a switch fee in place just to prevent students from switching back and forth a lot of times. But if you think that one of these is going to work best for you, just go ahead and sign up now. If you need to switch later, we're pretty flexible. Just email us and I'm happy to help you do that. But I don't want that to keep you from starting, because we just want you to get into the program, start watching the content. If you need to switch later on, it's okay. We will help you and we can figure it out. So I also wanted to note, we have a few different types of ways to graduate. So you can either graduate with an 18-week version of the program, where you are going through the program in 18 weeks and you have a 3-hour call once per week. So that's one way to do it. Another option that we created is a 25-week version of the program where you have a 90-minute call once per week. So again, each of these are 1 call per week. The 18-week is 3 hours and the 25-week is 90 minutes. Those are the main 2 versions of the program that we have. Some people don't know which one to choose. I usually tell people, based off of all of these trainings, pick the dates that work best for you. That's kind of the first way I tell people to decide. If you have a ton of options that work for you, the next thing to think about might be, okay, I want to graduate a little bit more quickly. Maybe I'll do an 18-week, or we also have a 7-week I'm going to have Jess tell you about in a minute. but we created this version for people who are fine to do a 3-hour call if they want to graduate in about 18 weeks and they feel good with that. Then we have the 25-week version, and I hear a lot of people joining this one because maybe if they have a tighter schedule, they're really busy. Some people with their learning style, they don't feel like they can sit and focus for a 3-hour call. That's okay. This 25-week, 90-minute version is perfect for you. Then we also just started offering a 7-week intensive. And I think this one's really exciting for people who want to graduate really quickly. And the calls are about 7 to 8 hours per call. And so Jess led our first intensive. Did it start in January? I think that's right. And now this will be our second one this year. So I want to pass it over to you, Jess, to just chat a little bit about the intensive.
All right, let's do it. The intensive is, it is intense. Like, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, right? It is definitely for the person who is just ready to go like all in and get it done. It is definitely for the person who perhaps wants to just commit like a whole day to this so that you don't have to like think about 6 months ahead, and is just like kind of ready to sit at their laptop with me for 8 hours. It's not for the person who doesn't like me. Because if I'm running the next one, you are going to be spending 8 hours on a Sunday with me. So basically the difference is with the intensive is you're going to watch a lot of content and come to longer calls, and therefore you're going to graduate in a shorter period of time. So we do 7 weeks of calls. You get exactly the same amount of practice time and all of the above. I think the benefits of the intensive are you gain bonds with each other really quickly. You learn, it's so immersive that you learn at such a, you're so inspired and you learn at such a rate because you're just like in it every Sunday with us. And I know we're going to run some different versions of it too. They are long days, so I break them up with lots of breaks, dance parties, music, whatever we need to do to keep the energy up. But honestly, I think the content's so incredible. We never really have the problem where we get like, you know, oh, this is a long day. It's not like you're sitting watching presentations. Like, you're practicing, you're learning, you're asking questions, you're embodying. So we're looking at between 6 and 8 hour days, and you will be graduated fully on that 7th week. We will have your graduation ceremony. We will celebrate you. We will party with you. And you would have done all of your practice sessions, all of your field work within this time. So it really is just for the person who, particularly the Sunday one, who maybe works or just wants to get it done really quickly and is ready to dive in. I think kind of the biggest thing to consider if you want to do the intensive is that you would want to sign up earlier so that you can watch the content ahead of time. But just imagine being this time in 2 months being graduated, right? So did I cover everything I feel like we need in that? So yeah, like I said, it's intense, but it's just another option and it's pretty cool. I just finished with my group, and one thing I noticed with them is because of the intense nature, there was a lot of momentum and they were all out there doing really epic things already because it was like, bam, bam, bam. It just created this, you know, like going to a weekend event where you're just like, yeah, it did create that energy. And so, yeah, that is the intensive. If you have any other questions, so happy to chat about it more, but it's ultimately the same thing, just condensed into a much shorter amount of time.
Thank you, Jess. That was perfect. So exciting. And I feel like the people who went through the intensive in January really did love it. Like, it felt like a weekend with Tony Robbins or whatever, where people are just like hyped up and excited. So I saw one more question in the chat that just popped up. Someone said, what happens if you go away on vacation? So this is a question I get all the time. If you have to miss a call, one thing, oh my gosh, like Monet said, you can join the calls from anywhere. So that's one option, is if you're available, we'd love to have you come to the call. If for some reason you have to miss a call throughout the cohort, that's okay. We have a makeup call schedule that you can use. So don't let that stop you from joining. We absolutely still want you to join the program. As long as you're committed to being there for a majority of the calls, we have a makeup call schedule and a process in place for you to make up any calls you missed. And one thing that Riley mentioned earlier that I wanted to say is that It's not like you'll be watching call replays. You're actually going to be coming to makeup call sessions and doing the full technique. You're going to be practicing, asking questions. You're getting a full session with the makeup calls, so you won't be missing any content. Whether you have to attend a makeup call or coming to your full cohort call, you're going to learn the exact same things. And yeah, thank you, Monet, for answering those questions. That's so nice of you. It's super easy to do the makeup calls. And yes, you also get to meet your other trainers too. So maybe Jess is hosting a makeup call, but you're in Olga's cohort or Riley's cohort. So you're getting to meet other trainers during those times too. Amazing.
Can I just answer this one other question in the chat as well quickly?
Yes, please.
We're talking about the difference between the 18-week and the 25 weeks. So even though the 18-week is 3 hours and the 25-week is 90 minutes, regardless if you're in, for example, an 18-week or a 25-week, some of the modules are still chunked together. So even if you're in an 18-week or a 25-week, you're still doing modules 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 together. They're chunked in, which is why it's not double the amount. Instead of being 18 weeks, it's not 32 or 36, whatever the math is, because you're not doing exactly one module per call. Some of the modules are still chunked together. So the amount of hours ends up being the same, the content covered. It's just sometimes even if you take a 3-hour call, the modules 1 and 2 don't necessarily run for 3 hours. So we chunk them together even in the 90 minutes. Same with modules of 3 and 4, which is why it feels like the math isn't mathing, but it is. It's just the way the program is set up is kind of like not necessarily one call per 90 minutes. Sometimes it's still two modules in 90 minutes. So it's just a little bit easier to clarify verbally than it is over text, but hopefully that makes sense.
Thank you so much, Riley. Oh my gosh, I get that question sometimes and I feel like I can't articulate it properly. So thank you so much for doing that. I need to like take that snippet that you just said and save it so I can explain it in the exact same way. Yeah, you explained that so much better than I ever do. Amazing. Okay, how is everyone feeling? I'm going to stop sharing my screen and I want to open the floor to like Q&A moment. How's everyone doing? What questions do we have coming up? How are we feeling about the program? I know if you're here, you're probably super interested in joining, and now is kind of the best time before the price goes up. So, oh yes, cute puppy. Oh my goodness, I love it. Yeah, how is everyone feeling? Type in the chat, let us know what questions are coming up for you. How are you feeling right now? I want to kind of connect with all of you and see where you're at. And if any, oh, that's so cute. He heard Olga's voice and came running because he's probably so used to hearing Olga from the cohort. That's so cute. Okay, Chris said excited but still nervous to take the leap. I totally understand that. And I hear that all the time. I don't know if any trainers want to speak to that. Do you hear that in your trainings when you have students first starting, like just the nerves of getting started? Do any of you feel called to like share a little bit about that, or even like how you felt when you first joined?
Oh, I was terrified. But,
Yeah.
You know, I definitely was. Like I had followed Reese for like 2 years and like kept going, oh no, oh no, you know, and eventually I was just sick of myself. And that's like that. I couldn't even type it up. I was like, what do I say to this question? Because what is it that eventually I was sick of going to bed with an idea and listening to my fear over my, you know, and that's not going to be the same for everyone. Like I'm just sharing my experience. And I don't know about the other trainers, but I feel like by the time they get in the cohort, they're so dead set that this was the right decision. That they're like, I was really scared, but now I'm glad I'm here. And you know, I get it. It's a large investment in yourself. And I think that's why the question, what would you ask for if you knew the answer would be yes, is both powerful and sometimes very confronting, right? Because even now I'm in a transition in my life. I'm asking myself that question again. And that means I have to act as if, and that's challenging because I have to face stuff. And that's why the community is such a huge aspect in this space too. So yeah, I just shared a little bit about my experience, and I think I'm sure the trainers will agree, like students face it, be it from a time aspect or a money aspect or whatever it is that they're facing. But I truly believe the whispers in your heart are guiding you. So I at some point we're going to overcome that. And I know that at some point, whether it's this or something else for you, you're going to have the courage to step into that version of yourself. And I want you to know that we see that version of you right now.
Thank you for sharing that, Jess. And I saw someone else said, my limiting belief is, what if I don't have the transformation in the end? And what I can say to that from the students who I've had like discovery calls with all the way to like seeing them graduate, it's totally in your hands. And we are giving you all of the tools, all of the techniques, all of the support, all of the calls. And as long as you show up and you do the work, it's all within you, and you already have it. And what everything we provide you is just support in getting there. But if you show up and do the work, you will see the transformation. That's how I feel. I don't know if any of the other trainers want to speak to that, but that's the biggest thing I see is people being so worried it's not going to happen. And it's like, it will happen if you decide it will. If you decide you're going to make it happen, we give you everything that you need. I'm going to put in the chat. If anyone else has questions, send them. But while we're wrapping up here, I want to add in the chat, we have a couple of ways where you can stay connected with me. We have a new Yes Supply number where you can call or text me. And I have an app on my phone where we can talk all the time. Some of you might text me already. But if you have questions about the Yes Supply method, I know things get lost in email, and email gets so overwhelming with all the spam that we get. And texting just seems faster, and people like a quick response. I love a quick response. Send us a text. I'm the one who answers it, and I'm so excited to chat with you. So go ahead and like screenshot that in the chat or save that number right there. But it's 1-844-893 7263. That's our Yes Supply number, and you can call or text it. If I can't answer, then I'll just call you or text you back whenever I can. But it's a great way to just connect with the team. And if you have a quick question before joining, send us a text right there, 1-844-893 7263. Another option, if you want to be on a Zoom call just like this, one-on-one, talk to me about your unique situation. We can talk about any limiting beliefs coming up for you, or if this is the right thing specifically for you. Just save that link, yessupply.co/discovery-call, and we can get on a Zoom call together, just you and I. So those are the ways to get in touch with us. You can also email us. I'll put hello@yessupply.co in the chat, but whatever way is best for you, save that information. Even just take a screenshot so that we can stay connected after this, because I don't want us to lose this momentum of excitement and all of you taking the leap and like doing something so exciting for yourselves and transformative for you. And I know it's so easy to be on these calls and be excited, and then if you like slowly forget about it over time and never join, I don't want that to happen, because I want you to make the change now. Like, this is your time. If you're here, I feel like this is meant for you. So I'm going to even put in the chat for those of you who are ready. You can go ahead and sign up. We don't even need to talk. So I'm putting the link in the chat too. When you're ready, go ahead and sign up. It's the same link as our website, yessupply.co/certified. That link will send you directly to the upcoming dates. But what other questions do people have before we wrap everything up? And I'll open the floor to any questions, but I also wanted to say, if any of you want to, you can click my name in the chat and send me a direct message. You can send me your email or your number, and I'm happy to reach out to you first. If you're nervous to be the first one to reach out, send me your email if you want me to connect with you after this, and I'm so happy to do that. Email or phone number, whatever you want to do, but send me a private message here in Zoom, and I can get in touch with you if you'd prefer me to be the first one to reach out. So and Jess said, I have chills because I just thought future you is already thanking you. And then I thought about me being the future me, and now I got all emotional. Oh, I love that. It's so true. It's so true. Okay, does anyone have any other questions while we're still together? I see a few people sending me their contact info, so I'm excited to connect with you. I just want to copy that down really quickly. And do any of the trainers have any last things that you want to add while we're still together?
Just Olivia, you're a queen. Thank you for holding this space and inviting us.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed myself.
Yeah,
Thank you
thanks
all for being
everyone for
here.
hanging out.
Yeah.
And we'll see you in there. We'll see you in a cohort.
We're so excited to see you all in there. Um, And for anyone who wants me to get in touch, send me your email. I'll stay on for like one more minute, or I can even stay on after we end the recording. See message on. Oh, did you message me on Facebook Messenger? I'm wondering if I didn't see it. It might be best, Giovanna, if you actually, can you email me hello@yessupply.co? Unless we're already messaging on Facebook, but that might be easier to send me an email or a text. I'll put both of those in there. Okay, perfect. Thank you. And then just the last reminder that the price is increasing after April 1st. So for anyone who's been thinking of joining, go ahead and sign up. We even have a 10-day refund and cancellation window. So sometimes I tell people like, come in and start watching the videos, go through the content. A lot of people just feel more confident once they start watching the material and they're like, okay, this is the right place for me. This is what I needed. But sometimes all they need is to know, like, you've got 10 days to try it out just in case it doesn't feel like a fit. But 99.999% of people decide to stay because once you're in, you're going to love it. So go ahead and join. And if anyone else wants me to get in touch with them, just you can call, text, email us, giving you all the ways to get in touch with us. Does anyone else have anything before we wrap up? This was really fun. And thank you all trainers for being here because it made it even more fun to kind of collaborate with all of you. Can we stay and all hang out? I know that's how I feel. I'm kind of dragging it out because I don't want to go hang out by myself. Okay, this is amazing. Thank you, everyone. I'm going to stop the recording, but thank you, everyone, for being here. This open house was so fun.